Hello, Mrs. McLean here. Welcome to the Design and Technology Year 9 GCSE Curriculum Choices presentation for 2025. Okay, so why study design and technology? The main principle within our school is to develop design and technology capability and your ability to solve problems creatively, which form our key concepts in the subject, and to develop technological knowledge, design knowledge, things like that, which will really help you in everyday life, and you'll start to notice things around you as well. Okay, so usually subjects pick design and technology because they have a particular interest in design, and it could be that they like architecture, it could be that they like fashion, it could be that they like furniture or interior design, and they also like that paired with the understanding that they will definitely be developing practical skills in different material areas within the design subject, and making things or designing and making things to a particular design brief. So there are absolutely loads of different careers which lead on from a GCSE in design and technology. Manufacturing, art and design, construction, fashion and beauty, research and development, architecture, engineering. You've got graphic design. You could be a textiles designer. You could be an interior designer. You could work as a buyer for a company. In like the local context, you could even become like an Etsy designer. There's loads. And after design and technology, we currently don't offer this at an A level here, but within our consortium, so over at Heal School, you could carry on to study a level 3 or an A level in design and technology. You could choose to go to art college and study fashion. You could go to college and do carpentry. You could get an apprenticeship in engineering because the mechanisms section of the course really lends itself to that. You could do an apprenticeship with a joiner. You could then, from that, go on to become or go to university to get a degree. There's absolutely loads. You could work as a set designer. You could study architecture, landscape architecture, product design. Loads. Okay, so the topics we study, we follow the EDUCAS Design and Technology exam board because you get more marks for making and less for designing. And historically, our students aren't always as good at drawing as we might like them to be. Generally, those students would pick the art pathway. So we get more marks for our practical skills and our ability to actually make and use 2D design. In year 10, you will learn all about natural and manufactured timber. You will learn about plastics. You will learn about papers and boards and metals. You will also learn about new and emerging technologies, smart materials, mechanisms, electronics, and then you will start your NEA at the end. And in year 11, you generally make the NEA, complete the design portfolio to go with it, and then revise for the written exam all of the content we did in year 10. In year 10, you will also complete like mini design and makes alongside being taught each of the categories. For example, when you learn about mechanisms, you will make an automata, which is a wind-up toy, a cam toy, essentially. So alongside the teaching of that content, you will complete a design and make. So you will follow the design process, start to finish, and develop your practical skills and knowledge using an array of materials such as wood, plastic, textiles, and, if possible, metal, which we're trying to bring in. So in year 10, we really focus on component 1 and design and technology in the 21st century. And we start by looking at new and emerging technologies and smart materials. And alongside that, you will develop your ability to draw orthographically, so use 2D design and the laser to cut out like a laser cut box, which we can use to house an electronic circuit board for a diffuser for a light. You then make a shelf at the moment where you develop your skill, your sort of hand skills using hand tools to make a like shelf type unit. Then after Christmas, currently in year 10, we're looking at mechanisms and students are making an automata, followed by a jitterbug to recap those electronic skills again. And then we look at manufactured and natural timbers in a lot of depth alongside making a marquetry box. So as long as learning all the theory, so the D&T in our world, smart materials, electronic systems and programmable components, mechanical components and devices and materials, you will also be following the design process side by side and making something using that knowledge, if that makes sense. And then on June the 1st, the design briefs, and there are 3 to choose from, are released by the exam board and shared with you, and we start our NEA, which is our non-external assessment, which makes up for 50% of the qualification. And in this, you will complete a design portfolio, you will do some design development, and you will make your actual prototype and then evaluate it, of course. And there are 3 briefs to choose from, and it's completely up to you what brief you choose and whatever you design to make, as long as you know how to make it and it's not absolutely huge. Okay, so support-wise, we have Mr. Ward, our technician, and he's always around break and lunch if I can't be there because I'm on duty or if I'm teaching food straight after or before. There's lots of stuff on the list here, but we are always happy if you guys want extra support to support you. So one of the most frequently asked questions is, how much is my practical outcome worth? And it's worth a potential 30 marks out of the 100 you get for the non-external assessment, which is essentially your coursework. So 30 for the practical, the other 70 marks come from the design portfolio, your mind maps, your product analysis, your design sheets, your design development and modelling of the potential design, and then the evaluation which comes after. And then in year 11, right at the very end, you will sit an exam, which is worth 100 marks as well on component 1. And they all get added together, and then there'll be overall grade boundaries. I'm in the year 9 area every morning, so if you have got any questions about this course, you know where to find me, or you can equally find me in design and technology. If I'm not there, then I'm up in food. Okay, bye.